Now we're just getting a breaking news from the United States where the Secretary Bessent justifies tariffs imported on India. The US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that the US has made much bigger sacrifices than the Europeans have. We have put 25% tariffs on India for buying the Russian oil. And guess what happened last week? The Europeans signed a trade deal with India. Let's listen in.
That he has worked to negotiate a settlement on Russia, Ukraine. The U.S. has made much bigger sacrifices than the Europeans have. We have put 25% tariffs on India for buying Russian oil. Guess what happened last week? The Europeans signed a trade deal with India. And just to be clear again, the Russian oil goes into India, the refined products come out, and the Europeans buy the refined products. They are financing the war against themselves. So President Trump's leadership, we will eventually end this Ukraine-Russia war.
Joining us now is CNN News 18's Siddhant Mishra. Siddhant, a very good morning to you and thank you for joining us. Now, please help us break down the statement coming in from the Secretary Bessent. But what is the economic logic here, if any, that buying refined products made from Russian crude oil constitutes an indirect war financing?
Well, look, that his statement is factually incorrect. He said that Europe and India has already signed the trade deal. But the fact is that today, a deal is likely to be announced. The conclusion of the talks will be announced by both the sides in New Delhi, point number one. Point number two, that this is not some secret that Europe has also been purchasing energy from Russia. In fact, not only through India, but they have their own pipelines and perhaps systems through which they have been purchasing energy with Russia. In fact, the same point was highlighted by India, if I'm not mistaken, in the month of August and September, when India was selectively targeted by the United States by slapping 25% additional tariff for buying Russian energy. At that point in time, India reminded United States that how not only India, but China, European countries, including the United States, continues to buy different kinds of energy from Russia. So, a statement coming at this point in time is perhaps something which is difficult to understand. Point number one. Point number two, they may also not be liking the fact that this particular deal, which was being negotiated from last 2 decades, perhaps suddenly got accelerated. The pace got accelerated, and now finally the conclusion of talks are going to be announced. Where on the other end, the trade deal with US, which was expected to be announced by the fall last year, couldn't be announced, only because there are many sticking points between India and United States, and United States is pushing India to open its agri and dairy market, which India is not agreeing to. And perhaps that is the major point of contention in India-US trade deal. So now, since Europeans have respected that Indian sensitivity, they have understood Indian sensitivities, and perhaps this is the reason that now the biggest trade deal is going to be announced today in New Delhi. So this statement is coming. Scott Bessent coming ahead of the deal. A, the statement is factually incorrect. B, he is telling something which India has been telling the world when India was slapped with 25% additional tariff. So why this statement is coming at this point in time? What is the purpose, etc.? I mean, there is something which we are not able to understand. But also the fact is that US needs to realize that India believes in tariff-free trade. India believes in opening up markets. Perhaps today it's going to be the 9th trade deal which will be announced in last 2 years, whether it's Australia, Oman, New Zealand, UK, UAE, and now European Union. So United States need to understand that India very much believes in this policy of going ahead with the trade deal, opening up market. The only point of contention is agri and dairy products because it is sensitive and in India, and also perhaps it hurts the interests of Indian farmers and Indian dairies. So that is something which the United States had not been understanding. So now this
Right.
statement coming from Scott Bessent, in fact, day before yesterday, he said that we are on the path of removing 25% additional tariff on India. Perhaps that was a very welcoming statement. Now, why this statement is being made, perhaps is something which is beyond anybody's understanding.
Right. Thank you, Siddhant, for putting things in perspective for us.